Yeah, Shalom people. Actually, today I am here to castigate this dude right here. Now, this guy actually is a person I've been seeing his video on social media. He talks like an idiot, but I think today I need to respond with him. So first, let us start first with his first word. And like you know, I always give my answers from the same scriptures that he is reading like a novel. It's time to show a fool that truly is a fool.
In 5 minutes, let me prove to you that the Bible is a bunch of nonsense for brainless people. Exodus chapter 9 verse 6. The Bible began to speak. It says, in the 5th week, God killed all the livestock of the Egyptians. Mark the word all their goats, all their cow, all their oxes. And that same God came down to Exodus chapter 14 verse 9 and began to speak. It says, and Pharaoh went after the Israelites when they had prayed with 600 chariots, 600 oxes and his chariots. Excuse me, sir.
Now, starting with this, he quoted Exodus chapter 9 verse 6, he quoted Exodus chapter 14 again. This is where I want us all to please be wise and let us think with our head. If not that this dude actually is naturally a bamboozled baboon, let me use that word. Between Exodus chapter 9 and Exodus chapter 14, do you know how many years has passed by within that period? That is one. Two, talking about it as if he is counting it as if it's each day. Remember that Pharaoh is very, very rich. Did he think Pharaoh don't have money to buy another livestock from the neighboring nation or from the neighboring country? Did he think Pharaoh is a poor man like his father that can't afford to buy one cow in the next 10 years? Pharaoh is wealthy. Though Yah killed the livestock of the Egyptians, but at the same time, Pharaoh had the fund enough to buy all the cattle of another kingdom. Remember that. So him saying that it's Bible is for the brainless people is a brainless one here. Because as at when Yah destroyed the livestock of the Egyptians, Pharaoh has the finance to buy much more horses. So for this point that he has said, actually it is null and void. All I see coming out of him actually is stupidity and nonsense.
God killed all the livestock living in Egypt on the 5th week in Exodus chapter 9 verse 6. And in Exodus chapter 14 verse 9, Pharaoh still have 600 oxes to pursue after the Israelites. This is a bunch of nonsense for unreasonable human.
Now let me even use scriptures actually to even defend what I'm trying to say. This is the book of Exodus chapter 9, and I will read firstly. He quoted Exodus 9 and 6, but I will read Exodus 9 verse 9. I'll read verse 22 and verse 25. Then I'll now go to Exodus 11 and 5 again. It says, and it shall come to pass, and it shall become small dust in all the land of Mizraim, and he shall be a boy breaking forth with blains upon man and upon beast throughout all the land of Mizraim. And Yahweh, this verse 22, and Yahweh said unto El Moshe, stretch forth your hand towards the heaven, and there may be hail in all the land of Mizraim, that's Egypt, upon the man and upon the beast, and upon every herbs of the field throughout the land of Mizraim. And the hail smote throughout all the land of Mizraim, all that was in the field, both man and beast. And the hail smote every herbs and the field, and broke every tree of the field. That is verse 25. Mark the word here. He was quoting from chapter 9. Go to chapter 14. Here, the Most High killed everything that was on the field. Now, here's my question. How about the livestock or the beasts that they have that are actually in their stable? Will the hail get there? The hail fell upon those things that are outside, both man and beast that are outside. Those who are in there actually are safe. They were not destroyed. They were still alive. Also, this chapter 11, verse 5, it says, "And all the firstborn on the land of Mizraim shall die. For the firstborn of Pharaoh that sits upon the throne, even unto the firstborn of the maidservant that is behind the mill, and all the firstborn of beasts." This is now chapter 11, 2 chapters from chapter 9. Did this baboon mention this? No. This baboon did not mention this. He didn't mention chapter 11. To tell you that aside from the beasts that were destroyed, they still had some livestock left. In which among those livestock that were left, their firstborns were the one killed in chapter 11, verse 5. Before we now go straight to chapter 14. To prove to you that sometimes people read the Bible like a bunch of raccoon. Just like this dude right here. That's why I'm here, to fry him up.
Joshua chapter 10, verse 12 to 13. The Bible began to speak. It says, "And Joshua said to the Lord, Let the sun stand still over Gibeon, and let the moon over Ashlon." And the sun stood still until the Israelites won their enemies. Excuse me, sir, we all know today that the reason why there is day and night is because the earth is rotating and not the sun. The sun is a stationary body which never moves at all. So if there are to be any miracle consisting in making the day longer, Joshua would have asked the Lord to pause the speed of the earth rotation and not the sun, because the sun never moves for one day. The sun is a stationary body living on its own. Bible is a bunch of nonsense for brainless human.
Now you can ask that truly this guy is a baboon. Now at this point now he is saying that this dude was saying that the earth rotates, that the sun and the moon stay at a point. That is the lie of the nonsense given to our people through the white man, to tell that indeed is a baboon. Remember, the scripture says, let's go to the scriptures real quick, because I hear some people actually are acting like coons. Let me take Revelation chapter 7. Let us see, maybe the earth is round, but it has four corners. Revelation chapter 7, verse 4. And it says, "And after these things, I saw four angels standing on the four corners of the earth." To tell you that they stand on the four corners of the earth. Not just that, let us also go to Genesis. Let us see if this bamboozled baboon is right. Genesis chapter 1. Let us see how the Most High created the earth. Let us take from verse 6. It says, "And Elohim said, Let there be expanse," that's firmament, "that is in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." Verse 7. "And Elohim made the expanse and divided the waters which were under the expanse from the waters which are above the expanse." What is expanse? The firmament. What water they left here? The one year on earth. So and not even that alone, look at verse 9. It says, "And let the waters under the heavens to be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. Now here's my question. If truly for this kind of baboon to believe that the earth actually is round, or the earth actually is rotating, we all know that even if a motorbike is on a speed, if a motorbike is walking on a speed, you cannot even drink water on the motorbike. But according to science, the speed at which the earth is rotating is about 5 times the speed of an autobike. So why is it that all of us here on earth, we have not flinked off while the earth is rotating? Or if you believe that the earth actually is round, are there magnets at the sole of our feet to make some people walk upside down? If truly they believe that the earth is round, that means some people are staying here while some are staying here. And those who are staying here having their legs with magnets to the earth. Why can't those who are here are falling off? Or those who are on this side, why are they falling off? Or will it tell you that a plane that flies, the plane will now fly from here, going this way, turning down this way, curving this way, go this way, then land upside down? This guy is a baboon. In case you don't know, the earth is never round and it is never rotating. The earth actually is like a dome. The glass at the firmament is where the water separated us. In case you don't know, there is nothing like space, because after this cloud you're looking at, actually it is going to be that water. So tell me which scientist can stop the water that's outside there to now create an opening for their nonsense rocket to go out? Won't the earth be flooded with flood? And yet these fools believe that there's something called space. The earth is round, the earth rotates. To tell you that truly we have been people actually who are nothing but natural coons and fools. So for those who believe what this guy says, actually, I'm happy to tell you today that you are a first class fool. The white man says that to hide anything from a black man, put it in a book. Yet you have your Bible and you can't read. Instead, you are reading like an idiot, like this Jude. Let us see what else he has to say.
Journey with me again to the book of Proverbs 15 verse 3. The Bible God begins to speak. It says, the eyes of the Lord is in every place, keeping watch on the good and evil. That means the Bible God is claiming omniscience, omniknowest. He sees all the activities that happens on the earth realm. He came down again to Isaiah chapter 46 verse 10. He says, I am God and there is none like me. Only I can tell you the future before it happens. For everything I plan happens the way I planned it. Isaiah chapter 46 verse 10. This is God claiming all-knowing ability. And that same God came down to Genesis 18 verse 20 and began to say it. And the Bible says, and God says to Abraham, Genesis 18 verse 20, I've heard a great cry against Sodom and Gomorrah because of their sin, which is too fragrant. I want to go down to confirm if their wickedness is as great as I have heard. If not, I want to know. Excuse me, sir. The omnipotent God want to come down to go to Sodom and Gomorrah to verify if accusation he heard about a nation is true.
Now, can you see that actually this guy actually is nothing but an idiot? Now, let me take that same Genesis chapter 18. I will take from verse 20, and it says, and Yahweh said, because the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and because their sin is very grievous, I will go down now and see whether they have done altogether, mark the word, altogether, according to the cry of it, which is come upon me. And if not, I will know. Now, at this instance, this dude actually is practically stupid. Why? The Most High will not be like an average African that do have that mentality, thinking because one person eats dog, that does not mean they will say una dey chop dog. You need to prove all things. 1 Thessalonians 5:21 says, prove all things and hold fast that which is good. That is why Yah said he will send down. He never came by himself, he sent the angel. He says he will go down to check. That was why it went afterwards. Let's go straight down to verse 23. And Abraham drew near and said, will you also destroy the righteous with the wicked? Why do you think Yah wanted to send the angels to come down? Because he want to confirm maybe all together. He knows all already, but he want to see for himself. That's why he sent his messenger. Why do you think the book of Matthew 7 verse 7 says, ask and shall be given unto you? Do you think the Most I don't know what you need? But if you do not ask him and they give it to you, you will practically be blaming him if that thing end up hurting you. Imagine now, he knows that you need a car. If you don't ask him for that car and he gave you that car, if at your own foolishness you let that car to crash and you had accident, you will blame him for giving you the car. Now that the Most High had to go and check the sin of Sodom, maybe it's everyone who are guilty, so he can destroy them all without sparing anyone else. Was why Abraham came forth and said, will you destroy the righteous with the wicked? Look at verse 24. It says, perchance there be 50 righteous within the city. Will you also destroy or not spare the place for the 50 righteous that are therein? Verse 25. That be far from you to do after this manner, to slay the righteous with the wicked, and that the righteous should be as the wicked. That be far from you. Shall not the judge of all the earth do right? Verse 26. And Yahweh said, if I find in Sodom 50 righteous within the city, then I will spare all the place for their sakes. Now, let me now take this question back to this baboon that we have here. The Most High Yahweh is more or else the superior. In short, not that more or else, he is the superior. In the same way, in the so-called country that you are, Nigeria, we have this major general. The major general sits in his office. They give him report of all what is happening. But here's my question. If the major general should understand or should hear the news that a place in Enugu is misbehaving, will it be fair enough if that major general send down troops to destroy the entire Enugu? The general will need to send people there to go and check if possible there are some innocents there, so that the innocent will not also suffer with the wicked. So for him saying that the Most High is forming over the lowest, that why did not need to come down, it shows that this dude actually is a baboon, and I'm not sorry to say that.
He cannot dictate that from where he's living in the sky. He has to, and at a certain point, he begins to negotiate with Abraham. He says, if only I can see 50 righteous people in this community, I will no longer destroy them. That means this Bible God lacked the ability to know within his own self whether there are 50 righteous men in that community if he was not verified by Abraham.
Now, this is where this dude actually is nothing but an idiot. He's saying that the Elohim of the scriptures, that he doesn't have the ability. Now let me now show you something from the same scriptures which you don't know. If you read that same Genesis chapter 18, when Abraham had the chance to bargain with the Most High so that they can be able to spare that city, the scripture proved to us. Let us go there. We'll read verse 32 and verse 33, and it says, and he said, no, let me start from verse 31. And he said, behold, now I have taken upon me to speak unto Yahweh, perchance there shall be 20 found there. And he said, will not destroy it for 20's sake. 32. And he said, oh, let not Yahweh be angry, and I will speak yet, but this once, perchance 10 shall be found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for 10's sake. Verse 33. And Yahweh went to his way as soon as he had left communing with Abraham, and Abraham returned unto his place. Why do you think the Most High left when Abraham has brought it down from 50 to 10? Because the Most High knew that Abraham can continue to persuade. If he can persuade to the aspect of 10, that means he can also persuade to 5. And the Most High knows that the only thing that is precious to Abraham is his so-called kinsmen, which is Lot and his wife and his 2 daughters. And they are only 4. The Most High said, the wages of sin is death. So when he's talking about this, he knew that Abraham can plead with him until he asks for 4. And if he should ask for that 4, Yah won't bother passing out the judgments anymore. And yet, wickedness will continue to grow in Sodom. That was why when he got to the level of 10, the Most High left before Abraham continued to bargain. So for this baboon talking nonsense, it shows that you are nothing but a capital fool. Because if you are not a fool, you will not open your filthy mouth to call the creator, who should have seen you as a waste of time to create you.
That same God who told us, my eyes is everywhere, keeping watch on good and evil, in the book of Proverbs 15 verse 3, was the same person who was watching Cain killed his brother Abel, and later he came out to ask Cain. He says, Cain, where is your brother Abel? For the blood of your brother is crying upon my head. That means that Bible God was somewhere watching Cain kill Abel, and he kept that calm.
Now, this Jude again talked about Cain and Abel to tell you that he's truly an idiot. The Most High have the right to let you choose what you want. That's why he said, I lay before you life and death, blessing and cursing. But I beseech you, brethren, choose life. Cain that chose to kill his brother Abel, did the Most High ask him to do that? But the Most High as well is more or else like is the judge of the world. Why do you think even in the federal high court, anywhere in the world, the prosecuting judge knows that you are guilty, but still yet he will ask you the question, are you guilty of what you have done? Or tell me what you have done wrong. Why is it that people actually are nothing but a grown idiot, a grown fool? You opened your mouth and say this kind of fallacy. You didn't even say it against the demonic idol they serve in the Christian church.
You see, that same Bible God came to Job chapter 1 verse 8 and begin to negotiate with Satan. He says, have you not seen my servant Job? Have you not seen my servant Job, who have been faithful, righteous, and perfect in all his ways? And Satan doubted God. He says, did Job fear you for nothing? Have you not put an edge all around him so that nothing can penetrate him? And the Bible recorded that God gives Satan, he says, told to Satan, he says, go ye and do with Job whatever your soul desire, but don't touch his soul. So God offered Job as a gambling to Satan to go and play with his wealth, peace of mind and life, just to verify, to know if Job will disappoint him. So God tempts men, knowing fully well that men who have ability to know the future, to see how or the depth of the heart of people, equally put those people to test to know whether what he thought about them is reality. You see that God knows nothing about you. He's just playing gambling on you. This is a shadow boxing. That God is an illusion and does not.
Did the final round actually before I round up on this dude. He was talking about that the Most High, this and that. He was taking Job as a gamble. Now this is where I want you all to wake up. Remember that in Christianity they make you believe that as Satan and the Most High Yahweh went into combat, there was war in heaven, was fighting the Most High, which never happened. Because if truly the Most High was having a fight with Satan, it will never be written in the scriptures that Satan was also among the sons of Yahweh who walked before him. Also remember the book of James chapter 1 verse 2. It says, count it all joy when you go through diverse temptation. Also in the book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, one of the books that your demonic so-called pope removed from the Bible, Sirach chapter 2 verse 1 says, my son, if you will come to serve me, prepare yourself for temptation. The Most High himself knew that we as humans, we are very, very, very deceptive. Jeremiah chapter 17 verse 9, he says, the heart of man is desperately wicked and deceitful above all things. Who can know it? That is why he need to prove you first. Maybe truly you are actually for him. Yes, he had to prove Job. That's why he told Satan, have you seen my son Job? And Satan himself knew that the Most High is protecting Job. That's why he said you have your hedge around him. And the Most High, knowing fully well that Job is an upright man, he will not disappoint the Most High. That is why he gave him the go-ahead to go and tempt Job. But yet this coon here is saying that the Most High is making our life a gamble. He's a bunch of idiots. That's why he can open his mouth to say such kind of stupidity out of his mouth. Mr. Wisdom has spoken. I remain your same brother, the fearsome lion, and I am here to cast down all imaginations to give glory to the Most High Yahweh.